Anyone who's lost a family member to suicide knows all too well the grief that family members face when their loved one is gone. With us now is Marilyn Nobori of Survivors After Suicide from the Hygh Mental Health Services to tell us more about the survivors who are left behind. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about the services that you provide to the survivors?
A survivor, just to clarify the definition of survivor, is anyone who has lost a loved one, a family member or friend to suicide.
Okay.
And it's estimated there are about 6 survivors for every suicide, and there are like 33,000 suicides a year in the nation.
Do you know how many we have in California?
Not specifically.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The program that we offer is a support group. It's an 8-week closed support group for survivors, and it's a safe place for survivors to talk to people about what they're feeling.
Okay.
A lot of times friends and family members don't want to talk about it. There's a stigma with, just for grief in general, there's a stigma. People don't want to talk about death, or suicide particularly. And people have trouble finding people that will listen. Or if they do have a sympathetic friend that will listen, they get fatigued. Okay. And a lot of times survivors need to talk about it in great deal.
Is the process different for survivors from suicide versus like natural causes or folks in other accidents?
I feel it is.
Okay.
1, because it's sudden. Okay. 2, it's often violent. And 3, for a lot of family and friends, they didn't see it coming. Okay. And so there's that shock factor. In fact, like with any grief, it's a relationship you have that you're grieving, and so everyone's grief journey is really different. Okay.
What services specifically?
The program we offer is an 8-week program. You start with a group of people, and they're normally maybe anywhere from 6 to 12 in the group. Okay. And the group meets for 8 weeks, and there is some instructional information that is given also. The group is led by a volunteer, a licensed professional, as well as a co-facilitator, which is a survivor. The facilitator may also be a survivor. Okay. It's not required that they are. And once the programs we offer are throughout Southern California, the LA area rather, and we offer them in West LA, South Bay, San Fernando Valley, and the San Gabriel Valley. And so what can folks expect to go when they go through the process? What they would do is they would call into the SAS coordinator, and an intake will be completed, and they will be notified when the group begins. We need to have a certain number before we can begin a group in any area. And once they come, it'll be a safe place where they can tell their story in as much detail and how often they need to. Information will be given in terms of what suicide is, why it happens, how complex it is. You know, often there's a lot of guilt and there's a lot of blame because it's so sudden and people didn't see it coming. But most times it's a very complicated process to get to the suicide, and people have had signs and risk factors for many years before.
What are some of those signs and risk factors?
One of the major risk factors is untreated and undiagnosed mental illness, whether it's depression or bipolar or whatever. Untreated, unrecognized. You know, you see somebody in sort of eccentric behavior, but the red flags don't go up.
If someone is out there watching us right now, how could they get in contact with the Survivors After Suicide?
Okay, the Survivors After Suicide, you call 310, area code 310, 895-2326. And that will take you to Rick Mogul, who is our SAS coordinator.
Is there a website or an email address?
Yes, www.ddhyrsch.org. Okay. Okay. And again, after the 8-week program, you can retake the 8-week program up to 2 or 3 times if you need to. But then there's also follow-up, which there's a monthly drop-in group in each one of the areas. So that after you finish the 8-week, you can do that. One of the things that
give us that website. We run out of time, so give us that website address again.
www.ddhirsch.org.
Okay. Well, thank you for going on, and we hope that folks will log on if they're in need of assistance.